In a sick, uneducated world where crime, corruption, poverty, and war run rampant, it gets you thinking that something must be done. I support the Venus Project, and I am a member of the Zeitgeist movement, all because I want to see real change. I want to see the collapse of this system and the aberrant behaviors created by such a society. I want an evolution of consciousness to occur where people learn to educate themselves and stop enslaving themselves in this monetary system. I want to roam the planet freely, to travel anywhere across the world and explore. A society like what we have right now would not allow for such a thing, with money, citizenship, and bigotry to be restrictions to travel, for one, and other things as well. I have dreams just like any other individual would. I know that my dreams will not be accomplished in this system. I want to create an animated series. I want to explore the world, like I mentioned before, and I want to live in complete freedom. I don't see why anyone else wouldn't, but anyways, if it all turns out to be money and private property to be the driving force behind these goals, then what kind of life would I be living in? If we can provide food, water, shelter, and the other necessities of life for all the world's people, why bother having money? Why restrict access to the resources of this planet, the resources that rightfully belong to you and me, and to everyone else in the world? And restrict those resources to those who found a way to earn more money than another person? Why separate ourselves from the rest of the world based on religion, class, race, origin, and any other obsolete institution placed upon us? It really goes to show how incompetent our race currently is. The solutions advocated by the movement, it just makes sense. That is, if you actually research what they actually advocate, unlike certain groups out there. To get rid of crime, poverty, and war, you just have to find and take care of the root cause of the issue. Scarcity being a prime one. Scarcity as in lack of access to physical resources and lack of access to non-physical resources, which would include compassion, education, love, and other things. We only live in this world because the people in power and the majority of the world's population don't see any other possible direction. If they do, they don't clearly understand it. The current system only works for those who got lucky enough to have a roof over their heads, earn lots of money, and have ease of access to anything that they want. If you suggest taking away this system, they will feel threatened because this system works for them, and they fear a new direction would take away their property. The Venus Project and the Zeitgeist Movement only wishes to bring everyone up to the luxury of that, such as the top 1% lives, and even go beyond that. Not so much as owning property, but giving people easier opportunity to share resources and become successful. Think of a library, for example. The Venus Project wants to make a global library for all the resources that this planet can provide. Think of how many cell phones, how many cars, how many houses left unused, vacant, or just get thrown away. All these resources just sitting out there, not being used, not being recycled, and even being hoarded for various reasons. Not everyone needs to own a car. Not everyone needs to own a plot of land. Instead, we can manage our resources more wisely, just giving people access to these things, the things that they need to get by the day, and just return them whenever they're done using them, just to let someone else have the access to the same thing. No bureaucracy involved, no money, no bullshit. Is that really too difficult for people to understand? It is for some reason, but to those who haven't, go check out the zeitgeistmovement.com and the venusproject.com for more information. Freedom may not be free, but the price for it is only for you and the rest of the world to decide. So far, the price of freedom has been thousands of years in time, over tens of millions of deaths, several revolutions and transitions, millions of inventions, the collapse of many empires, and much, much more, which you can find out if you take a look at the history of our human race. Let's stop the madness before the price of freedom goes up. Spread awareness, get people thinking, and get yourself thinking.